Hit record.
Oh.
Okay. Well, welcome to our webinar and thank you for joining us. I'm Kim Pearlstein and I help business owners demystify the complexities of online marketing. I teach you how to find and connect with your target audience so you can build relationships and grow your business and also increase your visibility. I'm excited today to be collaborating with Lee Barnathan. And Lee, please introduce yourself to our audience.
Hi, everyone. When you're drowning in a sea of millions that think, look, act, and sound alike, I use messaging to highlight what makes you remarkable and compelling to your clients, customers, and prospects.
Thank you. So I'm going to share my screen now. And hopefully technology cooperates here. And here we go. All right, Lee, you're going to have to keep me on target here. Do you see the screen?
I do.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
Okay, just give me 1 second. Grab this. And we said we were going to. Okay, you'll take care of the back end for me. Thanks, Lee.
I will. I want to say hi to John, Lisa, Regina, and Terry. Glad you guys made it. You're just in time.
Thank you so much. Thanks again for joining us. We hope you get value from our webinar. We're going to share a lot of information with you in the next hour. Please stay till the end as we have a free gift to share. Hold on, I got to play with my screen. I'm sorry. 1 minute. Okay, we hope you get a lot of value from our webinar, The Power of the Inbox and Secrets to Writing Emails That Aren't Crap. We have a lot to share with you in the next hour, but please stay to the end and you will get a special gift. Feel free to put your questions in the Q&A and we'll answer them later. Again, we appreciate you taking the time to be here today, so let's get started. So what is email marketing? At its base level, email marketing is delivering professional communications to an interested audience containing information that the recipient finds valuable and looks great in any inbox. Sorry, I'm having a little technical challenge here. Oh boy. Okay, so delivering professional communications, you have to make sure you send great branded emails with no grammatical or spelling errors. The interested audience, making sure that the individuals you add to your email list expect to receive communication from you. Sending the right information to the right people on your list, knowing what your audience needs or wants can be tough. If you're unsure, you can ask your customers, survey them, ask on social media or in person. You want to make sure you provide value. And emails that look great on desktop, laptop, tablet, and mobile devices. So what can email do for your business? It can drive revenue and profit. If you build trust by sharing value, it can help you drive revenue directly from your communication. We like to say that 80% of what you share in your email should be expertise and tips, and 20% can be promotional, sharing your products and services, soliciting a donation, etc. It's the same guidelines that you would follow on social media. It's called the 80-20 rule. Wouldn't it be cool if every time you sent an email out, you got a sale? So it can also create and increase awareness. You need to consistently communicate with your prospects and provide value. Email is such an easy and cost-effective way to continue to touch those prospects over time to increase awareness and establish credibility and trust. One of the reasons your list is so valuable is that you can't predict when someone will be ready to work with you or buy your products. You see, it doesn't matter how much someone knows, likes, and trusts you if they don't remember you when it's time for them to make a buying decision. So reinforcing your brand is one of the things that email marketing helps with. Also, you can get repeat business. Email is a great way to bring people back that have already purchased your product, service, or donated to your cause. According to marketing metrics, the probability of converting an existing customer is 60 to 70%. On the other hand, the probability of converting a new prospect is only 5 to 20%. So this is the easiest way to reach people. So today we have a lot to cover. We're going to talk about why email marketing. We're going to talk about growing your list, creating great content, designing a beautiful branded email template, and getting results. By the end of the webinar today, you will be armed with the strategies and tactics to help you harness the power of the inbox and use email marketing and great content to grow your business. Now that you understand how important email marketing can be to your business, let's talk about why you need more than just a regular email. Regular email doesn't work because you have a limited number of emails that you can send at once, and it's very time consuming if you're breaking your list up manually. There is no formatting control. The email is more susceptible to filters, so it's not going to necessarily get to the intended recipients. There's no cohesive branding. As you can see at the email on the left, it's very plain and simple and kind of boring. Potential spam complaints. So in case you're not aware of something called the Can-Spam Act, it is a law that was passed in 2003, establishing the US's first national standards for the sending of commercial email. And it requires, one of the things it requires is that you have the ability to let people unsubscribe or opt out of your list. There's also no tracking or reporting the email results, which is one of the best reasons to use an email marketing tool so that you can see who's opening and who's clicking on your links. Also, people read email. Of course. I mean, I don't know about you, but one of the things I do when I wake up in the morning is grab my phone and check my email. So 91% of people check their email daily, and 88% regularly check email on their smartphones, more than social media or videos. But the best reason of all, email works. Email marketing has 3 times the conversion rate as social media. So the time you spend to create and send an email will reap higher rewards. For every dollar spent on email marketing, there is a $44.25 average ROI, which means the money you spend on your email marketing budget will come back to you multiple times over. First impressions really matter. When someone opens your email, they'll give it a 2-second glance, then either read on or delete. What they see is going to determine what they do next. Maybe you want them to visit your website, register for an event, donate to your nonprofit, or try a new product. This is where a professional-looking email designed to drive action is crucial. Should your first impression be this or this? Notice the difference between a regular email from your own Outlook, Gmail, or Yahoo account on the left and one sent through an email service provider on the right. I think you would agree that the one on the right clearly looks more professional, which will ultimately get you closer to achieving your goals. Let's talk why the email on the right is worth the return on investment. The benefits of using an email provider tool, your bases will be covered. There are many providers out there: MailChimp, Constant Contact, Aweber, ActiveCampaign, HubSpot, and many, many more. And the best practices are already built into these platforms. So here are some of the benefits of using an email service provider. You have access to beautiful templates, customizable, mobile responsive, and easy to use. It reinforces your brand identity because there are features built to match your logo and colors, plus integrating your social media profiles and driving website traffic. You can easily manage your list, adding new subscribers and removing unsubscribes. In fact, the system usually automatically removes the unsubscribes when people choose to opt out. It ensures email deliverability. It's very reliable. Email gets delivered over 90% of the time. Facebook posts reach only 2% of fans. You can track your results, which we'll talk about a little later. And it's important to obey the law. The physical address and the unsubscribe option are important to have. So now we're going to talk about growing your list. How and where to ask. Yes, you have to ask. Permission is a critical part of the email marketing process, and you must follow the rules. You need to get express consent, asking for permission in all touch points of your sales process. This could be a checkbox when someone's buying from your website, or simply asking a question face-to-face. You need to set expectations, be straightforward. Tell them how often you'll be in their inbox and what type of content they should expect. Offer a way to opt out. Make sure you have the option to let your contacts unsubscribe in every email you send. Tools automatically manage those who opt out so you don't have to, like I mentioned before. Respect privacy. Posting your privacy policy is a great way to tell your contacts that their data is protected. And be legally compliant. Follow the compliance guidelines of this CAN-SPAM Act and any other laws that are relevant. You have to get clear and obvious permission on your sign-up form. Clearly identify who the email is coming from, so brand recognition is crucial, and inform your contacts that they can unsubscribe anytime. It's clear why you need to collect email addresses in a responsible way, but how do you find them? Where do you ask? Well, you ask everywhere you're online. One of the best ways to get someone to subscribe is a dedicated area or page on your website offering valuable information in exchange for their email address, something like what you see on the screen now with the join our email list. When someone clicks on that, this is just one example that brings them to the other form, the second picture there, and that drives traffic directly. So sorry, that's the subscription page. And when someone subscribes, the system automatically will send a welcome email with the valuable information that you have chosen. I'm sure many of you have heard the term lead magnet. So this would be the place where you have a free report of some sort offering value for someone giving you their email. And you can also set up a series of emails that go out automatically. That's called an automated or an autoresponder series in advance to make sure that your new subscribers stay engaged through a steady stream of valuable communications. Next, where do you ask? Everywhere else. There are lots of ways to gather contacts. You can collect email addresses at events. You can add a QR code to printed materials. If you have a brick and mortar business like a restaurant, a salon, a doctor's office, you can put information there to gather the person's email. You can use a sidewalk sign to offer an easy incentive to subscribe inside. You can place a sign up form on the bill or the office forms or applications when someone receives the receipt, asking them to check a box to receive your emails. And you can even use a fishbowl on the counter of your business to collect business cards. This is a tried and true technique that still works. You can offer a monthly drawing for a free meal, a haircut, a gift card, something like that. So you just have to ask. You want to give people a reason to join your list. As I mentioned, that's typically referred to as a lead magnet. Here are a few examples of the types of incentives you could offer to someone to get them to subscribe to your mailing list. Make sure they're feasible for your organization to offer and manage and track, and that you have the bandwidth to honor these incentives. Offering ongoing education related to your product, VIP preferences, insider news or exclusive access, an ebook, white paper, or guide, updates on your mission, and friends and family discounts. But really, the number one reason for an unsubscribe is irrelevant content. So you want to make sure you're providing value, which brings me to hand the webinar over to Lee so he can talk about creating great content.
Thank you. But before I do, got a question for you that's come in, Kim.
Oh, sure.
Person wants to know, how should I choose my words carefully to ask someone to join my email list?
Oh yeah, what I typically say is if I do have a free report, I have a free report on my website. So if you have a free report on your website, you can say, I offer a free report called, and then tell them what it is. You know, you can go to my website to grab that, and I would love to share that with you. If you don't have a free report, then you can just simply ask them, tell them that you do a newsletter and you provide information about, whatever your topic is, and would it be okay, would you like to receive my email? And then, remind them that they can always unsubscribe if they don't find the information valuable or if you're sending too many emails.
All right. I hope that answers the question. I'm going to remove your spotlight, Kim, and we're going to continue now with creating great content. I want to begin with a story. In January 1996, Bill Gates wrote an essay that he titled "Content is King." In it, he said that content is where the real money will be made on the internet. Now, since this was 1996, remember the internet was still an emergent technology back then. But he correctly predicted that the internet would be a marketplace of ideas, experiences, and products. He wrote, if people are to be expected to put up with turning on a computer to read a screen, they must be rewarded with deep and extremely up-to-date information that they can explore at will. Unfortunately for Gates, he invested in Encarta, a digital encyclopedia, and the web portal MSN and MSNBC. Anybody use Encarta? Anybody use MSN? It's now known as Bing. Does that help? I'm guessing no. And while MSNBC is profitable today, it became profitable after Gates divested. So you got Bill Gates, a man of extraordinary talent and fortune, who succeeded brilliantly in just about everything he's ever done. He saw with remarkable accuracy how the future would play out. He put his money behind it, and he failed spectacularly. Gates correctly thought that content would be king, and he was right for a while. People created and shared relevant content online that got people engaged, that kept clients and customers current, and targeted a new wide audience. The problem was that everyone started doing it. And when everyone started doing it, it became harder and harder to stand out, to be unique, to be remarkable. Everybody was doing the same thing. And the sheer glut of content became noise. And the volume of noise became so great that it became nearly impossible for the copy to stand out and get noticed. Plus, the tools that create the content became so available and cheap that everyone thought they could do it themselves. You've got Grammarly, and it can help people write more clearly, or maybe it doesn't. But the problem with Grammarly and similar digital writing assistance tools is that when you use them, you end up sounding like everyone else. It's an algorithm. And one of the problems with algorithms is that they lack the ability to understand context. So let me ask everybody, do you think the term stupid Americans constitutes hate speech? Because Facebook does. I read an article in the LA Times about a man who wrote on Facebook, yes, Virginia, there are stupid Americans. And he got flagged by Facebook's community standards on hate speech and inferiority. I mean, go figure. You've also got content mills, also known as content farms. These employ large numbers of freelance writers that generate a huge amount of online content that does nothing more than satisfy search engine algorithms. Some of the sites I've listed here on the slide. The problem here is they don't pay worth a damn. iWriter pays between $2.15 and $25.35 for 500 words. Crowd content pays between 1.2 cents and 7.6 cents a word. At 500 words, that comes to between $6 and $38. Since you get what you pay for, you're getting content that is cheap and easy to write, and it's content that sounds like everyone else. A British study found that copywriting agencies are rebranding themselves as content farms. Video production companies call themselves rich content creators, even though they're not. Content publishers have renamed themselves content marketing experts. Even their British trade group is called Content Marketing Association. Content, 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 lots and lots of comments, content and emails from more and more sources from a pool of inexperienced email writers. These people think they can write, and they can't. Look at how many emails you're bombarded with every day. How many do you actually open and read? I would guess less than a handful. And those that you open, how amateurishly written are they? My guess would be very. Got some examples here. You ever read an email in which the writer basically restates somebody else's thoughts? Those are same with me posts. How about an idea that could be expressed in 3 sentences, but gets turned into 1,000 words? You've got interviews that could just be called yada, yada, yada. Folks, what sounds profound isn't. There's only one conclusion I can draw, and I credit Sonia Simone of Copy Blogger Media. In 2014, she called it content regurgitated as product. Crap. The result of all this crap is obvious. People stop reading, they stop listening, they stop paying attention. Their armor and their defenses go up. They get skeptical, suspicious, and maybe even a little paranoid. They know they're being targeted so heavily that they're not just skeptical of the emails, they're sick of them. They don't accept them. They see that what you have to say is just being another part of the noise. As a result, you're unable to reach the people you want to reach and need to reach. If you want and need great emails, the dynamic kind that really help people and entertain them and inform them, it's going to be you against crap. So what do? You have to think differently. You can't sound like everyone else. If you want to survive the onslaught of crap, you have to build something precious, something that's different, that stands out, that reads smoothly, that's organized logically, that's written in simple declarative sentences, and that is intelligent, useful, and entertaining. Intelligent means simple, but not oversimplified and never condescending. Useful means many people will get something out of it, even if it's just a few minutes spent reading it. And entertaining means clear and easy to read with a little bit of attitude and energy. Today, you need to build an ongoing relationship with your customers, clients, and prospects. And that means holding their attention, not just grabbing it. Yes, a talking tiger with a deep bass voice, a witty gecko with a Cockney accent, or even a snappy jingle written by Barry Manilow can raise awareness and sell product, but it's no longer enough. You need to offer more than a catchy slogan or a clever stunt. You need to offer real value and offer it consistently. You have to understand what people want and then give it to them. Success will not come from putting a clever spin on facts, but rather by uncovering powerful stories and telling them well. According to Demand Metric, 70% of consumers would rather learn about a company from articles instead of ads. No longer can you think in terms of content. As Harvard Business Review wrote, we never call anything that's good content. Nobody walks out of a movie they loved and says, wow, what great content. Nobody listens to content on their way to work in the morning. And do you think anybody called Ernest Hemingway a content creator? If they did, I bet he would have thrown his alcohol bottle at them. Instead, you have to think in terms of value. You have to see that copy is meaningful and it's a way to exchange value. It's a craft, not a ploy. You need to share something important with the world, like honesty, because sometimes honesty is the best policy. Kim and I are part of a group of sales and marketing professionals working to serve a common purpose, help our clients attract a larger prospect base, bring in leads, nurture and educate those leads, and close deals. What we know is that this kind of email copy must solve real audience pain points. It's got to reflect the character, passion, and knowledge of the expert. It's got to find a fresh approach to a topic, especially if it's a popular topic. And it's got to be interesting and easy to read. You need to do all of this with your emails. Most importantly, you need to stop thinking about yourself or your business and think about your target market, client, customer, or prospect. It's not about you. It's about them. If your target audience came of age at a certain time, they might recognize this sign. It's a great example of knowing your audience. On average, according to the Content Marketing Institute, B2B small businesses spend an average of 31% of their marketing budget on communication in 2013. And a British study found that 90% of B2B marketers plan to spend a lot more on communications this year than last year. There's a lot of communication out there. So you need to think in terms of good versus bad. And you want good communication because 82% of consumers feel positive about a company after reading that custom communication. 70% of consumers feel closer to a company as a result of the right kind of communication. And 90% find good communication useful. What is the most common reasons people follow a brand? Because what's written is interesting. High quality, relevant, and valuable information makes people more likely to take the action you want them to take, whether that's buying or continuing along in the sales process. Now, I've got many examples of bad email communication to show you. These are in forms of signs, but the concepts I think are the same, and I think you'll get the idea. The first category is unoriginal emails. It's not plagiarized like a duplicate email would be, but it doesn't provide anything new or novel. You'll see this at a lot of large content agencies where entry-level writers will just rewrite what's already out there. For example, smog. I'm in LA, and only in LA do you get discount smog. Second category is aimless. This refers to stuff written without a strategy in mind. It's like when the writer touches on an issue without going into depth and then goes in a completely different topic. We also have thoughtless. When emails are written without the audience's needs in mind, readers can tell. An example would be an email targeted at software developers when it should really be at the end user. Another example would be this sign that buries the lead. And then there's this Christmas time photo. You might see stuff that's overly optimized. Yes, there is too much optimization, and there is such a thing as being too optimized. Emails that contain too many links or awkward or repetitive keywords, or they shout the same message over and over again, quickly turns off your audience, like this sign. Here's another category. There, you got it. Okay, we have next what we call double entendre. These are emails that say something that means something else. Keep going, Kim. Like this sign or this sign. Here's another category, unintentional. This is where a typo or a misspelling messes things up. Like at the Days Inn for your wife. Or my local ABC station, misusing the word it's. In 2019, Alexander Samuel of the Harvard Business Review wrote about the social cost of bad online marketing. It would be terrific if we could be delivered from this dynamic by some miraculous new marketing model that demonstrates the ROI of creating really great content, even if it costs more to create. Actually, that exists. There are professionals out there every day who are creating stuff that's really good and will convert. That is, do what you want the emails to do. These are people who know that success will not come from putting a clever spin on facts, but rather by uncovering powerful stories and telling them well. That good communication is a marathon, not a 100-yard dash. That passion counts for something because if you don't care, why should anyone? These people are also tough on themselves and they're not lazy. They create stuff that people like, so they share it with others who really like it. And those people share it with other people who like it, and so on, and so on, and so on. For everyone else, what can you do to make your emails more effective? Here are some tips I can offer. The first is something that I suggest you do before you write anything. Define your goals. What do you want to achieve with each email? Next, think about your company's values and determine how to incorporate those values into the email. Speak in your own unique voice. Make emails for users, not search engines. Answer a question, delight, enthrall, entertain, inform. Make it easy to read, as with bullet points. And make sure there are no typos. Even something as small as misusing an apostrophe damages your credibility. And remember this, features tell, benefits sell. I have seen so many emails in which the company writes about something they can do, everything they can do. But so what? People reading your emails don't care. They only want to know what's in it for me. They listen to WIIFM. A feature is something you do. A benefit is something they get. If you can answer that question, what's in it for me? You'll be that much more ahead of your competition. Next, only write about what you know. You have to be an expert. If you're not an expert, do some research so you can at least sound like an expert. And consider taking writing courses to better understand grammar, spelling, style, and punctuation. When you try and write it yourself without any training, understand that your audience is judging whether they should share what you wrote or buy what you're selling. And if it's not well written, they'll pass. And finally, there's this checklist that I found online. How about some specific writing tips? All right. Be suspicious of adverbs. You know, the words that often end in ly, but actually the most common offenders are very, so, quite, just, and rather. Adverbs let us say quite unpleasant instead of rude, and bluish yellow instead of green. For readers, they create a kind of mental fog. Using adverbs allows you to bury your own uncertainty in a cavalcade of fancy sounding prose. And remember, what sounds profound isn't. Next, eliminate prepositions. A lot of prepositions in a sentence, that's a clue that it could be a much shorter sentence. So find them and destroy them. Get rid of the of, to, in, on, with, by. I once saw this sentence online. The baristas of Melbourne have too much hair on their faces. All you need to say is, Melbourne's baristas have too much facial hair. Which leads me to my next point. Be concise. Sentences are much shorter and more human when the real action isn't buried in a noun. Instead, we should use what the late Joan Didion's editor calls a shock verb. For example, we'll focus on adaptation becomes will adapt. Consideration will be given to the provision of snacks becomes will provide we'll just consider providing snacks, or we'll consider providing snacks, because Andrew is right about the word just. Next, say it out loud. Why do things become strangely passive the moment we stop talking and start writing? One office worker meets another in the hall. Ben, she says, if you need more manuals, just ask for them. If you need more manuals, just ask for them. 9 words. But let the same person write the message and they pad it out with a lot of big words. Should the supply of manuals sent you not be sufficient to meet your requirements, application should be made to this office for additional copies. 24 words. To put it bluntly, speaking can be the best cure for puffy email writing. All right, I see some questions that have come in. Let me answer them. Regina, you want to know something. You say that your F100 firm says that you can only send 20 emails at a time, otherwise it looks like spam. Your solopreneur girlfriend says she sends as many emails as she wants with her Gmail account, so please explain. Hey, Kim, let me put you on the spotlight and let me have you answer that question.
I mean, if your company is restricting the number of emails, you have to abide by the company rules, but you know, I'm not sure. I'm not really sure how your, a Gmail account is fine to use, but if you have certain restrictions about your company, that's a different story. Maybe we can address that after.
All right, good. And also, Kim, can you go back to the slide before practical tips? Regina wants to see it one more time.
Before this one?
Yeah.
This one?
That one. That's the one you want, right, Regina, the checklist?
Yeah, feel free to take a snapshot.
I hope that's enough time for you.
Okay.
All right, Kim, let's go on with the rest of the presentation. You've got some more stuff to cover.
Okay, great. Thanks, Lee. That was great. So, the next thing we're going to cover is designing a beautiful branded email template. So when you do your template, you want to optimize for mobile. You want it to look great and recognizably you in any inbox and social platform. So optimizing for mobile, because statistics say that 55% of email is now opened on a mobile device, which means your emails not only have to be interesting and actionable, but they also have to look great on every device. You also want to ensure consistent branding so that you're recognizable. Remember, being recognizable is critical to success in email marketing, making sure your emails look like your website, any printed material, your social platforms from a logo and color perspective, and also using similar language. Things like color can actually increase your brand recognition up to 80%. So here is a simple recipe for success based on an analysis of over 2 million customer emails. Here are the things that you need to remember. When you create an email, it should be in a single column template, and that makes it mobile friendly. You should have fewer than 3 images, fewer than 20 lines of text, no more than 3 to 5 links, and the action above the scroll line, which means that's the point where you have to scroll to read more of the email. Okay, so now we're going to talk about getting results in your email. 4 reasons to pay attention. You want to make sure that you have a recognized sender, a compelling subject, good timing, and easy social options. So first, the recognized sender. You want to make sure that your from name and your from email are recognizable. Be consistent with the name you use across all social platforms as well. The compelling subject, there's a lot to talk about here. Get into the habit of optimizing your subject line to get the best results possible for your marketing effort every time. More than 1/3 of people decide to open an email based solely on the subject line. So the subject line needs to stand out. You want to ask yourself, does my subject line clearly explain why someone should open my email immediately? Optimizing, okay, 35% of all recipients choose, I already said that, I'm sorry. A little out of order here. So optimizing the subject line, size matters, keep it short. Since, as I mentioned earlier, 55% of emails opened on a mobile phone. You want to keep it to 30 to 40 characters max. Typically, that's what appears on most mobile devices. You want to have 6 to 10 words at best. 4 to 7 also has a good response, so you can bring it down a little bit. And you can use something called pre-header text. A lot of email service providers have this option. This is to entice mobile readers. What is pre-header text? It's a second headline that hooks the reader into reading the rest of the email. Think of it like a compliment to your subject line or the next step or hook. It's a second chance to draw your subscribers into your email after they've considered the subject line. Now, good timing. How often and what time of day? Timing is everything. How often should you be sending messages? You want to keep the promises you made at the sign up. Did you promise a weekly, monthly, or regular email? Coordinate the timing across email and social channels for maximum impact, and determine when it's urgent. What day and time? Day of the week, Monday through Wednesday. Sometimes Tuesdays through Thursdays is better too. It really depends on your target audience. Time of day, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. These are purely suggestions based on averages of many industries. Your exact best day and time may vary depending on your industry and your relationship with your audience, but these are good places to start if you're new to email marketing. Also, you want to test. Thanks to the reporting features, you'll be able to try a couple different days and times and then quickly and easily compare which days and times get the best results for your audience. Social options. You want to encourage your audience to share your promotions by using social media tools. This is a very effective way to grow your reach. Emails that include those social sharing buttons increase click-through rates by more than 158%. So you can add social media buttons that link to your business's social media profiles. The buttons are a nice visual reminder for them to click and follow you online. Your audience has a lot of influence via word of mouth, and you can get your promotions in front of more people, their friends and family, if they help you spread the word. Next, we want to talk about metrics. Don't guess, use metrics. They're really important. Smart businesses use tangible metrics to make business decisions. Instead of shooting in the dark with a new idea and hoping it works, using an email marketing tool can shed light on your marketing strategy through important email metrics. Know what metrics matter when analyzing whether or not you're achieving your goals. How to use data to make real marketing decisions. And the importance of focusing on the click-through is one of the greatest metrics for success. So we're going to talk about the different metrics now. First, it's the open rate. The biggest benefit here is the ability to see how many people are interested in your organization and what you have to say. Also, by having this information, you can make smarter marketing decisions about timing, content, and audience of future messages. Tools provide the date and time your readers opened your email, and this gives you very tangible information about when you'll get the best results in the future. The next metric is click-throughs. If you're not sure what that means, that's when someone clicks on a link that you've put in your email, or they click on a video. Maybe you have a link to a YouTube video or a Vimeo video, and you'll be able to see that people clicked on those links. This is the best measure of success because you can directly tie the goals of your email to someone clicking on the links. The more people who click on your link, the more you have achieved your goal of the message. Plus, it helps you understand what content people are interested in most, so you can send more of it. The next stat is did not open. When you have contacts that don't open your emails, it's a great idea to spend a little extra time and effort to win them back. Use this information to target their contacts in a creative way. When you resend the email, try improving your subject line or adding some additional new content. You can also choose to segment your least engaged contacts and send targeted messages just for them. The next is opt-out. Like mentioned before, this allows readers to unsubscribe and gives them an opportunity to share their reason why. By reviewing these comments, you can find areas for development in your strategy, like changing the frequency of messages or setting clear expectations when someone signs up for your list. Email service providers automatically remove these contacts from future emails, so you don't have to worry about sending unwanted messages. And last, we have bounces, equally important for their own reason. First, it identifies email addresses that are not effective or not active anymore. There are a variety of reasons an email address may bounce, so it's important that you review the email addresses and remove the ones that aren't helping you achieve your goals. Overall, this metric protects your sending reputation and keeps your deliverability high. And now I'm going to jump back to this slide because it bears repeating. Remember, email marketing has 3 times the conversion rate as social media. And for every dollar spent, you get $44.25 average return on investment. I would say that's pretty good ROI. Hope you agree. So if you remember nothing else today, remember the amazing ROI from email marketing, the benefits of using email marketing, and especially using a tool to help you. The importance of having email copy that is unique, remarkable, and compelling, and what to write and what not to write.
So
next,
imagine how great it feels when your email stands out from all the rest, when it rises above the noise and the amateur drivel that permeates our everyday lives. Imagine the happiness and confidence you'll feel because the emails were presented in such a way that they're clear, concise, and compelling, so it reaches your target audience. Imagine the pride you'll feel at knowing that the emails demonstrate that what you do is significant, that what you say accurately reflects your passion, and that it's true to your vision and brand. Remember, good email marketing can be all these things, and bad email marketing can be all these things too. So strive for good email marketing. Don't be like Bill Gates and get it wrong. Your business, your livelihood depends on it.
thank you so much for staying till the end. And so now we'd like to share with you your free gift. And we will send this to you in an email after this. It's the 20 writing prompts for quick and creative emails. So it's kind of like a cheat sheet for helping you write great emails. And now, next steps, we also are offering a free 30-minute consultation. And you can book a call with us at bookacallwithus.com. And if you sign up by the end of the month and have a call with us this month, then you also qualify for a special introductory offer. And you can find out more if you schedule the time with us. We look forward to talking to you. And now we're also going to open it up for more Q&A.
And I put the link into the chat box in case anybody wants to schedule. I do have a question here. What is the recommended length of email in terms of words?
Oh, that's a question for you, Lee.
It depends on your audience. I think a target is 500 words. Now, maybe it's more because you know your audience is willing to take the time to read more, or maybe it's less because you know they're not. Again, as Kim said in one of the slides, testing is very important. So I would start with a goal of 500 words and see.
I'll also add that you can break the email up into little paragraphs, and you can always, I know the tool that I use and most of the email marketing tools allow you to, put the read more button. I'm sure you've seen that. And then when people want to read more about what you're talking about and they click that, it also gives you good information that they're interested in learning more about that particular topic. So maybe you don't take the whole article and put it in the email and have multiple things, but you can, maybe have a couple different things in smaller paragraphs and then drive people to read more by clicking away.
I have one more question here.
Okay.
How can I be unique? How can I find my own voice? That's a good one. All right. So let's see if I can answer this one. Since everyone sounds like everybody else, the idea, of course, is to be unique. So how do you sound unique? You start by asking yourself one very important question. What makes me different? What makes me different? What makes my business different from everybody else who does the same thing? Since we're all individuals, we all do things a tiny bit differently. I'm going to say that you don't want to say, I have great customer service. Well, so does everybody. So you don't necessarily want to use that as example, but there's got to be something in your life, in your business that you do that is unlike what everybody else does in your field, because it's probably why you're in business in the first place, because you saw a need and you saw a hole that had to be filled. Finding your own voice, that is something that you work with a writer for to help bring that out. Writers like myself can ask a lot of questions to be able to get the information, to be able to write it in a way that sounds like you. Because of course, when it's you, you're more likely to get behind the message. You're more likely to trumpet it to the world. You're more likely to get it out there and say, yes, this is really me. This is what I stand for. This is what I believe in, et cetera, et cetera. So I hope that answers the question.
Great. Looks like we have Dave raised his hand. So
Yeah, I'm trying to see if Dave, if you've got a question. You wanna
I think
type it in.
we can allow him to talk. So this is new to us with the webinar. So I'm going to click that. And Dave, can you want to ask your question?
Or type it into the Q&A.
Or type it in the chat.
Yeah, well,
There it is.
I think I did, but my question was, what is a good open rate?
Yeah, crazy enough that if you get like a 20 to 25% open rate, that's actually kind of good. It sounds ridiculous, but you know, we all get so many email and it is really important, but not everybody opens it. I actually like to tell people that even if people don't open your email when you send it, they're still seeing your name every time you send something. And so you're keeping top of mind. Of course, you want them to open the email, and that's why the subject line is the most important thing. I got an email a couple of days ago that said, please read our February newsletter. And I just kind of laughed, like, that's not compelling enough. Like, you need to put in there what the topic, you know, you need to ask a question, you need to, you know, do something to draw attention to it, not just.
Yeah, you need to put in like the most important point that you want everyone to know about.
Right, exactly.
Dave, hope that answers your question.
Sure.
Good.
Great. Anybody else? Feel free to raise your hand too, or ask in the chat, ask in the Q&A, and we can.
Because of seeing none, we've got one more free gift, the gift of time.
That's right.
We can give you, oh, Regina got a question.
Okay, let's see. All right, I'm going to unmute you. Go ahead, Regina.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Great, thank you. I just tried to book a call with you, but I think I'm doing something wrong because it's not allowing me to.
It didn't bring you to a calendar? bookacallwithus.com?
It gave me a series of, you know, Sunday through Saturday and the times you're available.
Right.
Correct. So click on that 30, click on that number 30.
Okay.
And that should take you to a 30-minute meeting, and it says Kim Lee, and there's a blue, I'll call it a blue dot right at the sign. Click on that, and that should search for availability.
Okay, thank you. I'll do that.
Yeah, no problem.
Really great presentation. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Regina. Good to have you here. Good to have everybody here.
Your hair looks great.
Thank you.
Talk to you soon.
Okay, take care.
Take care.
Okay.
All right, I think that's going to wrap it up for us.
I think so. That sounds great. Thanks again for coming, everyone. We really appreciate your time with us today, and let us know if you have any questions.
Yes, and get out there and go make some money with emails.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. Bye now.